She's going to be a big girl.
Carrie Elwes? She's an actress.
Okay.
Well, she's a guy, so...
I woke up yesterday morning with a spring in my step.
Start later, please.
I could never know what the day was.
Fast forward, Ed.
I love watching Tarzan movies.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper, gang. Yeah. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang. Yes. Boy, that is good news.
It is the 17th day of January, 2025. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. Here we are. It's Friday. Big day because Ben and Elizabeth are coming in. They're going to play the initials game. Tommy Olson is going to stop by because he couldn't be here yesterday. And, of course, the regular cast of thousands, including, I believe, John Creasel coming in as well. So let's get her started, shall we, with some Jim Gaffigan, some comedy on a Friday morning. It's Friday. You made it. What a week. What a life. What a weekend ahead. Enjoy it. Come on in. I'm glad you're here.
We're always thrown by winter. We're never ready. Even in November, we're like, well, why is it getting cold? What is this, every year now? I love the Midwest, but really no one should live there. No, over half the year in the Midwest, it's just like... 150 years ago, someone was like, yeah, let's settle here. Let's settle down. You know, someone was like, if we go further west, it'll be really beautiful. No, I want my offspring to trick-or-treat in snow pants. In high school, I saw a photograph of Siberia where Stalin would send Russian prisoners. It looked exactly like my hometown. Is that my bike? I asked my dad, I was like, why do we live here? Why would you stay?
He's like, well, you know, these severe winters, they really make you appreciate summer.
So it's better because we get less of it? It was at that point that I realized he was an alcoholic.
How? Quick, she land.
The finish line is waiting. Fate is on your side. You hear
what a mess.
Distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
All right, there's only one winner. His name is John Creasel. He's here every Friday morning. Good morning, John Creasel.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. My name's Corey Cove. That's Chris Hockey. That's Paul Meets Austin Lambert. That's
weird.
Zach Halverson. It could get weird because in a matter of moments, Tommy Olson's going to kick the door down.
It's going to get weird.
So
Can you feel the tension in my plums?
Such a great bit.
it's going to get weird.
I know it's going to get weird. I can feel
He
it.
moved now?
He left.
Yeah, he can't stand the tension.
Right, I think Zach knows that Tommy is going to kick that door down. Then it's going to get weird.
Do you feel the tension?
And is he still Thomas?
Oh,
I don't know.
that's let's debate this.
When
What
he
do you think?
texted me earlier in the week, he was trying to say he was still Thomas.
Yeah.
But that might have been a sarcastic text.
He is an old son bitch, though.
Yeah.
It was weird sitting in a different seat.
Yeah.
Is it? It's weird to
It is super
think that.
weird. Yep.
Yeah, he played musical chairs there in the last.
He
30 seconds.
offered that seat to me, and I'm like, no, you don't have to get up. But now he got up, so I was like,
Yeah.
shuffle your feet, lose your seat.
It's one of those things that if you're not in radio, it doesn't make any sense, but having different headphones throws me off.
Yes.
Sitting in a different chair throws me off. Having my microphone sound a little bit different throws me off. So it's like when we play initials, you like to sit there.
Yeah.
It's weird when you don't, right?
Yep.
When we play password sometimes on Fridays, depending on what seat I'm in, I get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like
Sitting there, I don't like it for password.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just feels weird.
Feels like you're in the wrong spot.
And there's a lot going on there.
All the screens.
For those that haven't been in here, where Corey is sitting, there are two screens. There's one for the call screening. There's one, is that called Next Gen?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it
All the
has
ads.
the ads and everything. It's
And
got
then the one in the
timing.
middle, the third one in the middle here is basically where like PA and Barrero look up porn.
Yeah.
Yes. Just dirty.
Together, by the way. Isn't it weird that they come in and do that?
Yeah.
Together
Yeah.
during Common Show.
And what's weird is there's a paid subscription for Pornhub.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Which is, and I got to find
That's
out
on
what
Hawk's
that password
computer.
is. I got to find out that password.
I think iHeart just sent it to him. I think it's a company password.
They pay for it?
iHeartRadio, the new app, including Pornhub.
Yeah.
I think it was a trade deal. I don't think they paid for it.
The password actually is
pay for anything.
one and done with a capital O and a capital D.
I was like, oh.
Got it.
Oh. You know what the password is?
Kiss me.
Password is half-court winner.
How about that?
Yes.
In the backcourt. Gives to Garcia. Heaves a 40-footer. He hit a 40-footer to win it. He hit a 40-footer to win it. From straight on.
Straight on.
Right at the logo.
What a shot.
84-81. The Gophers are off the schneid.
What is that?
He hit that from half court.
Great awareness of how much time was left on the clock, too. I mean, at first blush, I'm like, ooh, that might have been a little unnecessary to shoot from there. But two things, he had to let it go because otherwise they were going to run out of time. And from that situation, straight on's the way to go because you can bank it in if necessary. That was awesome. What was a bummer, though, is there just wasn't many people there. If that is the barn of
96 or 7.
yeah.
or even early 2000s.
Yeah.
That place is exploding. Good
Yeah,
for them. They needed that.
I loved how Dawson Garcia, the second the ball gets inbounded after Michigan scored with, 7 seconds to go, the entire time he's running down the court, he's got both hands up like, give me the ball.
Yeah.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Basically, when are you going to pass it to me? And fine, just take it. And
I was just trailing Kai, and I seen Kai just looking for something, and I just kept yelling his name, and he found me, and I just knew as soon as it left my hands, I knew it was cash.
Lost and insecure.
You found me.
Great song. Who is that?
Great song. That is your dad, Darcia.
My dad, Darcia?
That's the name of the band.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's a good name band.
What happened to the Fray?
He writes songs for everybody else now.
Yeah, that's his bit. Yep.
Just making that mailbox
He's one of those
money.
guys.
That was 2000. I feel like that was popular when I was overseas. 2006.
Has Chloe wished you back to the war in the last week?
She has been so sweet.
That song was 2009.
2009?
Oh,
What?
you're kidding.
Yeah.
No way.
How to Save a Life was 2005.
That, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So they were around then.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
weird how losing track of time.
You were distracted by things.
Yeah.
You're easily distracted by losing your legs.
Yeah, that is slightly distracting.
Yeah, I wish you would go back to the war.
Yeah, she said it just that once. And one of the keys to parenting.
Brilliant.
One of the greatest lines of all time.
It is. When I tell people that, they're like, oh my God, she seems so sweet.
You must have gut laughed.
I did, just not in front of her. I gave zero reaction.
Smart.
Yeah.
And then she came back on her own and said, I'm sorry I said that. I know I don't want you to go over there. I know it's very dangerous. And I was like, you have no real idea.
Yeah.
That's nice that she apologized.
I would go back to the war.
So good.
What a killer.
Everybody's let it go except for you, Corey.
Oh, I think it's so good.
It is.
Because if that's something your 16-year-old daughter says, you're like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, what have I done wrong? If you're like, I really wish you would go back to the war. Screw you. But at that age, that's freaking adorable.
Well,
kids say the darndest things.
They do. But the other thing about it is she's well aware for many reasons, but in the probably like 6 months prior to that, she was kind of obsessed with, please don't ever go in the Army again. I don't want you to get hurt again, which is so sweet.
Well, it's very scary for her, right?
And she's like, I never want to be in the Army because I don't want this to happen to me. And I'm like, totally understand. It's fine. Just so you know, there's not a medical waiver in the world that it would allow me to get back into the Army, right? So you don't have to worry about that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And they offered to let me stay in and retire, have a desk job. And I'm like, I'm not taking someone's staff sergeant slot to sit at a desk. But so she was aware kind of that and then reached a point where she's like, I want you to go back. Wow. Little Chloe.
Oh, Chloe, the cutest thing ever. How'd she take the Vikings loss?
She was asleep, but the next day she was a little bit sad. She took it a lot better than Mom did.
No.
What about Dad?
Definitely bummed. I thought that they would win, which is stupid in hindsight. I did kind of buy in. It is crushing. I am a diehard Vikings fan. I joke about the fact that I have a Vikings tattoo on my right arm. I love the team so much. And again, I kind of wish my right arm was blown off. But I love the team always. But at this age and this stage of my life, I bounced back. The next day, I was fine. I was annoyed that night. But I think you guys kind of summed it up a little bit like that, too, is if it's like this, it's annoying and it's frustrating. But it's not like a last-second field goal, which that would have been better because it would have shown a lot more fight and instead of just a physical and coaching ass beating. But I bounced back. This wasn't like back in that 09, after the 09 bit, I think part of me died. And I was devastated after that. I don't know if I could ever get to that point again. We'll see.
I feel the same way about 98.
Yeah.
Absolutely gutted me.
Yep.
Same.
I might have cried. I was 17. I was at the game. Went home and my dad was freaking crushed. I thought when I walked in the door, I was like, did Mom die? But he wouldn't have been that upset about it. Just crushed. And I had to kind of talk him down where it's like 09. But now looking back to stage of my life and football being a great escape from a not great marriage situation. It was a huge escape, whereas now I don't really need an escape from life. But
yeah, it's all relative, baby.
It is. Yeah.
Chris, did you have a Sports Illustrated subscription growing up? Yes or no?
I did. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy, right? It's
I
the
loved
best.
it. Loved
Sauce, do you have it?
Oh, yeah.
Chris?
And Sporting News, yep.
Oh, and Sporting News.
Sporting News was my
Sporting
jam,
News,
man.
yes.
I mean, before the
Sporting
internet blew up, right? Sports Illustrated was the thing.
It was.
It showed up in the mail, and you're like, God, this is sweet, right? Even as a kid, you're just like, I like reading.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we had Tom Pelissero on from the NFL Network, and we were asking him about Kwesi and KOC and Darnold and this and that, and what are we going to do? SportsIllustrated.com, which is now SI.com, which is Spanish for yes.com. The headline says, NFL Insider believes Vikings will bring back Sam Darnold in 2025. Somebody named Tom Dierberger wrote this article for Sports Illustrated.
Dierberger.
Wow.
They wrote this
That sounds tasty,
Sports
though.
Illustrated.
Nice lean meat.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to read the first three paragraphs, if you don't mind. One of the biggest mysteries of the upcoming NFL offseason is the curious case of Minnesota Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold. Darnold spent most of the season playing like one of the NFL's best quarterbacks, steering the Vikings to a 14-3 record and just one win shy of claiming the NFC's number one playoff seed. But he unraveled the last 2 weeks as Minnesota lost its regular season finale to the Detroit Lions and was bounced from the playoffs with an ugly 31-9 loss to the Rams. Wasn't it 28-9?
Yeah, 20.
That's weird.
27.
27-9. This is
27,
31-9. Whoops. Way to go, Sports Illustrated.
Already lost me there.
Wrong
See?
score.
No.
You can Google it.
You could Google it, Tom. What is his name?
Dierberger.
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 Speaking of meat sausage, here it comes. Check this out. Despite Darnold's rough finish to the season, NFL Network's Tom Pelissero still believes the soon-to-be free agent will end up back in Minnesota next year. Quote, the smart money would be on Sam Darnold being back in Minnesota, Pelissero said Thursday to Paul Meat Sauce Lambert on KFAN's Power Trip Morning Show.
Wow. Wow, you've arrived, buddy.
Specifically, because you were the one that asked about Darnold, this article in Sports Illustrated said Thursday to Paul Meat Sauce Lambert on KFAN's Power Trip Morning Show.
I made Sports Illustrated.
You technically made Sports Illustrated.
Did he? I don't know if he said that the smart money is for Darnold to be back.
He did.
He did?
Yeah, that Darnold would be back.
In the other room.
And Lieber and I and Sauce were talking about it off air. Tom reports, right? Tom's plugged in. He was the one who called Sam Darnold being here. Tom might have great sources, and he might be 100% right. I don't get it. I think they're going the other way. I think it's going to be JJ and somebody else. I don't think Darnold's coming back, and he's not saying definitively Darnold's coming back. He's just saying the smart money is that the favorite is that Darnold comes back.
It would have to be such a team-friendly deal because this team, as we saw, needs a lot of help. My biggest problem in where the pessimism creeps in, and part of what got me this year is I try to not look at Vikings teams of past, which you still shouldn't do. But there are the swings and misses in the draft are egregious. You absolutely cannot afford to sustain a team by building only through free agency. It's impossible. You can't do it unless it is a short window like the 09 team, win now kind of thing where you're one or two pieces away. This team is so far away. Interior offensive line, interior defensive line, secondary. We need so much help that you can't afford to spend. And earlier this year, I'm like, okay, if for some reason Darnold would say, I will take $20 million a year for 3 years and have some type of security, but you can't do that with McCarthy waiting in the wings, you know?
Yep. More on this SI article. He writes, quote, this is a Pelissero quote, the most logical outcome for all parties has always been Sam Darnold coming back, Pelissero said. At this point, KFAN's Lambert raised his hand and asked, would Hawk?
Oh, wow.
And then referred to a elderly woman in a wheelchair.
What?
Yeah, you made Sports Illustrated.
Well done.
Wow.
Well
all
done.
right.
Kind of set me in a bad light there, but
Yeah,
still
it's all
well
right.
done.
Sorry about that, Hoy's daddy.
It's okay. It's okay. It was a required question.
I think the argument PA made yesterday was if you can find your way to like $100 million in cap space because you can redo all these contracts, and as Corey says, the salary cap is kind of made up.
Yeah, it's made up. You can sign whoever you want.
Correct. That then maybe I just don't understand why. The whole plan the whole time was McCarthy would be the quarterback in 2025, and you would have obscene gobs of money to put this team back together. I don't know why that would include a $30 to $40 million quarterback.
Right. And again, because we have so much building to do, because Kwesi has swung and missed on every draft pick except Addison, which was not really his choice. I have zero faith in the drafting ability of this team. The Dallas Turner situation was awful. He played the least number of snaps of any first round pick this year. I think I read. You can't build through free agency only. So because of the situation that we are put in, because of that, we can't afford to. We can't afford to spend that much on a starting quarterback. Not only a starting quarterback, but one who, when the moment was big and we needed him most, he looked embarrassingly bad. The moment was too big, and if this team is going to make a run next year, and we hope that they can, we're going to be in a big spot, and we cannot afford to watch him wither like that again. That was awful. I don't think I've had less fun watching a Vikings game in my entire life. The moment was way too big for him. There's no question about it.
Don't you think that's the part that sucked the most about that game if we're going to be serious about sports? It wasn't fun.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
like, at least lose in entertaining fashion.
Yes.
From start to finish, that game wasn't fun.
It looked like we are so far away. Where you look before, in my adult lifetime, I don't recall a short, an 8-day window from going super excited to being Sunday Night Football for the chance at the 1 seed to being just gone with 2 back-to-back stinkers.
Back-to-back stinkers. You've been there, right, Tommy?
John, Thomas, John.
How are we doing?
Is who's here today? Thomas or Tommy?
Thomas.
Oh, Thomas is here.
I'm on a historical run right now.
Let's talk to Thomas after the break. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
The Power Hour goes live at 8 a.m. You can watch the Initials game and more every day, weekdays at 8 a.m. It's all thanks to Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed.
She takes her walk, she makes her plan.
Welcome back, everybody. Power Trip Morning Show. A little Michael Shines for you. A week from tonight, playing in St. Cloud at the big Paramount Theater. Big old CD release party for our guy Michael, so check that out. He's great. Tommy Olson, no, I'm sorry. Mr. Thomas Olson is here.
Oh, Mr. Thomas Olson.
Thomas Olson, yes, he's here. And Mr. John Kriesel is here as well.
Hi.
Normally, I would say the horniest place in America is 1600 Utica Avenue. But, no. I guess. I mean,
No, it's
Priestland
like-
and I are still here, so I think. I mean, it's
Yeah. It's been something. You know, what day are we on?
Friday.
It's January 17th.
Yeah, so 17 days. It's like, it's wild. But we don't need to talk about it. It's kind of weird to talk about. But either way.
Why are you taking a break?
That's a great question. My friend, who I can't say on air, he tapped out like.
Well, then the contest is over. You won.
I know, but like for some reason.
now it's him against God.
Oh, and I knew why I remember this date. This is the anniversary of the Gary Anderson miss. It was January 17, 1999.
Good old day.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, go on.
See, Gary that day ended his streak. He had a perfect season, and his streak ended on January 17th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, today's the day.
Have you been blocked from websites or something?
No, there's no reason. I gave up drinking for 13 days. That stopped on Wednesday.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good to dry out, especially after the holidays.
Right.
Yeah.
Just kind of get back to neutral, you know? Now we're good.
Just switch back to weekends.
Right.
It's good to live a long life, not die when you're in your 50s.
Went to the Wolves game Wednesday. We were out pretty late that night. Yeah. But it was great.
Duh.
Yeah.
Except for
Life is good.
Life is good. Yeah. Not much new. Sess is getting better.
You waking up covered in ectoplasm?
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Fire. Yeah.
I am.
Fire suppressant.
Have there been any side effects?
Honestly, kind of like more locked in at work. Like, no joke.
Wow.
I don't know. Not that I can really tell. A little bit more energy in the afternoons.
Really?
Maybe it's just I'm just lying to myself, though. I don't know.
It's a placebo effect, yeah.
No,
gotta be.
what? That sounds familiar.
So I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
real.
He's filled with placebo. That's
but
the
like
problem.
I feel myself like overthinking more, like getting stressed about really nothing.
I wonder if that's just your brain working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think
Right.
Maybe I'm finally conscious of like
Just
other
thoughts.
things.
Again,
maybe-
like we referenced last week when Costanza gives up sex and he realizes what absolute zero means.
right.
Maybe it's the same bit.
It
You're
might
just thinking
be.
clearly.
I think I am.
Are you overthinking now, or were you underthinking in the past?
Well,
Yes.
that's a great point. Because little things that I used to like not overthink, now I'm like overthinking them.
such as, what's an example?
Just like work stuff, like little things that I just would never care about.
Attention to
So,
detail.
it doesn't sound like you're overthinking. It sounds like you're thinking.
Well,
Maybe
welcome
that's
aboard,
it.
Thomas.
I know, but like when I clear the cobwebs,
This
then
is
I don't have to worry
adulthood.
about it. I know.
How old are you now?
32.
32, okay.
How's the shaft? I mean, how much damage have you done? Be honest. Has it healed? You know what I mean? Like, have the rug burns gone away?
Yeah, so like, everything's still working.
Okay, good.
Well, yeah, and it's okay to save one up for the gal.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, like she wants that.
She wants to look like Randy Marsh.
But like,
It's a ghost.
you know, I thought like there'd be more random hardness, you know?
Jesus.
No, it's okay.
But
Pretty sound.
there's not. There hasn't been.
Oh, boy. Really?
You know? Like the random ones. Like obviously like
Like when you're watching
You're
a
an
video in
inspiration,
history
is what you
class
are.
about the expansion of the rail system.
stuff
And
like
you're
that.
like, what's going
It's
on
the
here?
exact opposite of the expansion of the
Well,
rail
and
system.
it's I think that's a thing when you're in your 20s more. Like when I was in the Army, that was a thing where one of my favorite times, one of my civilian buddies had talked about he was having an issue and his doctor was like, do you ever touch yourself?
Sure.
And so at golf, he was asking me, Todd, and Tim if we do, and we laughed at him. We're like, yeah. And before anything, Todd goes, at least 3 times a day, even if I don't want to. Oh my God. And he about died. He goes, jeez. He was ruined, and I don't think we've hung out ever since.
Sure.
But that's a thing when you're younger. But when
Yeah.
you're older and you have a career to think about,
Correct.
you have a wife
Lot
to
of other
think about,
stuff.
it's okay to balance things out. You can still absolutely throw some boots.
Right.
Yeah.
1000%. But
Just
like,
don't waste that in the sink.
Let me ask you some. Good point. Let me ask you some questions that are.
Sure.
And you just say that I prefer not to answer.
You could say plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does Thomas abstain from sex or just masturbation?
No, just spanking it.
Okay, all right then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay then, all right then.
Wow.
Okay, well that makes way more sense then.
Yeah, thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Yeah, I don't
Are you
know.
thinking me or him? I'm sorry.
No, thanking you for asking that question, clarifying, because none of
Maybe
this is
that's
making
why.
sense.
I am the
Also,
Rudy Jenner of
did you
the,
ever think
Power
that
Trip
some of
Morning
the clarity might be from not getting greased every night too?
That's another
not
huge
as pickled.
thing. That's another huge thing.
That's important when you got a
Because-
job, man.
Because Christmas from like December 10th till the New Year, I was every night.
Oh yeah, I'm a big eggnog guy too.
Yeah, right, you
Eggnog
gotta
and
be.
Show?
yeah.
It looks like eggnog sometimes, sure.
God.
I bet right now it does.
You got it right.
Expired eggnog.
Oh, yeah.
But that's Tommy. It's a good thing to during the week not do it. You can focus on your job, do better at your job, make more money,
God, that's what's
and then
wrong
on the
with this
weekend let it rip. Let it rip if you want to, but be ready Monday morning.
I've really let you guys down. That's what's wrong with the show.
What is?
I need to abstain for a few hours.
A few hours?
I like what I like.
So it's a 3.5-hour show.
What channel is RuPaul's
Breaks
Drag
the law.
Race?
That's on E, and that's 850.
850. Let me just
We're
throw
gonna
it on.
lose them.
I'm so tired of sports center. I'm just changing the way you guys are talking.
Well, I just keep showing him these pictures.
Oh God!
All right, let's just watch something else.
For you, Thomas. I'm sort of proud of you.
I don't know.
You're getting there.
It feels like the first step of growing up. It truly does.
It feels like and with all due respect,
Go.
it feels like you needed to get home. No, let me stop. It seems like you needed to get to work. Like you have to be there by 8. And if you leave right now and you go the regular route, you're going to get there at 7:59. But you're choosing to go the long way.
Yeah.
You know, like
Road less
there's no
traveled.
reason not to stroke it.
No, that's spot on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Boy, this guy's a
man.
creepy
Stroke it.
perv.
Right?
You guys, speaking of just talking about it, you guys have
Cool.
talked about masturbation more this week than ever.
We have?
You're noticing.
I am noticing
That's
it.
it.
I
'cause
think you're
obsessed.
just hypersensitive.
I think I'm just obsessed.
Yeah.
When did we bring
Well, you
that up?
guys-
Welcome to the club,
Well,
brother.
yesterday,
No, yeah.
Hockey masturbates to Sears catalogs.
Oh, we did talk about
I
that. You're
don't
right.
anymore.
JC
Weber.
I
Weber
was
said he did,
all
yeah.
over that too.
See what I'm saying,
Yeah,
dude?
that was normal.
You
Big old floppy
masturbated to a
floppies.
Sears catalog?
That might be the
know
other
why
thing. Maybe
you're
I
weird.
needed to stop because I had a problem.
I don't think you did.
I mean,
No,
Maybe you did, brother.
You guys, I told you about the St. Cloud trips, Mankato trips.
Yeah, but
It was a lot. There's a lot going on.
Well, be careful of the boredom, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take your mind off of real life, or you might
Correct.
as well just give up.
I tell you what, these drives now, not a lot
Well
to look
said,
forward to
Alex.
when you're driving.
That's what I'm saying, brother.
Yeah.
You're
Listen
thinking
to
too
the
much.
Listen to a
iHeartRadio.
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, about sex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, you ever go? There's some dirty podcasts out
Oh,
there.
see, we're bad
Such
influences,
as?
and by
They're
we
like,
gotta
I don't
be
know,
like-
there's like sex story stuff.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
Penthouse Forum, but in audio form?
Yeah. You can read all like that stuff
Didn't know that.
or listen to it.
Extra,
You know what the good
extra.
news is, though? See, Penthouse Forum was awesome as a teenager, but now as an adult, you can do those things.
I know.
Who can?
I married the right gal.
I just looked it up, by the way.
This time.
Penthouse Forum is an app. It is a podcast, and it was a 6-time iHeartRadio Award nominee. So they're going to probably win a handful of podcast awards.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, these guys are good.
They must be really good.
Which my
Just started last
biggest
week.
beef,
Wow.
and it's not with the beautiful new updated
Tell you what his
iHeartRadio
biggest
app,
beef is over there
Yeah.
right now.
but at home with the Alexa, and this is why I think I missed. I went from the master bathroom to the kitchen, and the Alexas are on the show, and Pellicero was on. And I listened to the whole thing, but I had to have missed because I will go from the bathroom to the kitchen, and it is like a minute and a half ahead. The difference is insane in timing, and there's no way to get them even close to synced up.
Not even close. There's nothing we can do about it.
So then I'm like, wait a minute. But when I go from the car to the house and it was already on in the kitchen, it's good because I overlap because I heard it live
Sure.
If you guys would have been nominated for a award
Marconi.
for the iHearts,
Yeah, the podcast awards.
yeah, would you guys have gotten flown out there? Oh my God!
If you want to be wrong, that's fine.
I'm serious.
Are
The
we
look
being
on Paul's
indicted
face.
and transferred to another prison? That's the only way.
No,
we
but
can
seriously,
go
let me put it to you this way.
chance.
Like 5 people didn't have hotel rooms the last time we went to Vegas. Hawk paid for all of them and never got reimbursed.
Never. Didn't even try because I knew better.
Corey spent $180 once on an Uber ride, and he didn't even try to get reimbursed because they're not going to.
No.
What I do know.
Yeah, there are multiple people here, though, that can just hand over an expense account and they'll gladly pay it.
When I was at Army Navy with Nordo, there were other iHeart stations there, and they worship this station.
Yeah, you'd think that our bosses would too.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'll sit that one out. That's why
Thomas here or is bonus here? Front Page Sports is next. It's the Power Trip Morning Show. John Kriesel is here. Thomas Olson is here. Ben Lieber and Elizabeth Reese later. They're playing initials. Marnie will be here. It'll be fun. And $82,500 potentially up for grabs at 8:15. Stick around.
Perfect and I'm alright. I think you're who I'm supposed to find. Would it be alright if I gave you a call sometime? And fix my hair, close a latch on the gate. I fly across this town cause I don't wanna be late. And pull up to your house and your dad is staring holes through me. We see a movie, spent all that I had. You say romantic comedies these days make you sad. Just empty and lonely, wishing for a world like that. I could never let you go. You are the current, the river, and the undertow. I could never let you go. You are the current, the river, and the undertow. White dress and the cutting of
Hi, everybody. The current, the river, and the undertow. Michael Shans. Hi, everybody. That's John Kriesel. That's Tommy Olson. Mr. Thomas Olson. So sorry.
Mr. Thomas Olson.
What's your middle name, Thomas?
Thomas Patrick Olson.
There you go. I can do that then.
Yeah.
That's Thomas Patrick over there.
If he was going fully cold turkey, I'd be willing to give him the Thomas label, but he's still getting some of it out.
Jesus.
Well,
Jesus.
Touche.
Let's keep him out of this.
Touche.
1, 2, 3, 4. Beat your meat upon the floor.
Please, not on the floor, Carlos.
Is the debut of Mr. Louis Lambert today as well?
I think so, yeah.
He might show up today. Little Louis.
Yeah.
Might be in the
that's
building.
great.
Like hopefully close to the end of the show because I don't want to stay in this sumbitch for an extra second.
No. I think he's going to be here probably about 8:50 or something.
850?
Would he like to play the initials game?
Perfect, because we're leaving at 8:56.
That's right.
Yeah. Are we working Monday?
7 to 9.
7 and 9.
I got the best of loaded in.
Yeah, let's do 7 to 9 because I don't want to give Zacho more work than he's already got.
Fair. All right.
What's Monday?
It's the day after Sunday.
You know
It's the
what?
second day of the week.
Tomers?
Yeah.
It's Martin Luther King Day.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
No, yeah, because we'd always get Monday off for school.
I would think Thomas
For the U.
Peter would know that.
Thomas Patrick.
Sorry, couldn't remember.
Thomas
I think we have the same middle name.
Peter?
Patrick.
You're Zach Patrick?
You're darn
Look at
good.
us.
Here we go.
Hey,
Oh, it's good.
Double Dragons
We
is
both
back.
got a P in the
Double Dragon, great video game.
Yeah.
Was it? What
Yeah,
was Double
that's
Dragon?
pretty good.
What was
It was
that?
fun.
What was it on?
Like Mortal Kombat, right?
NES.
No,
Yeah.
it was like a game you walked around streets and punched people in the face.
And sometimes picked up weapons.
Exactly.
Like GTA?
What's
Yeah, but
weird,
a
though,
side
too,
scroller though.
there was a lot of beating up of women because there were women that would jump out to
So
fight
just
you.
like GTA, like spot on.
Sorta, yeah. And then
Eagles
they would-
fans loved Double Dragon.
What was
they
it
do.
on?
Nintendo.
8-bit, the old.
Oh, the classic, not
Yeah.
even 64?
No.
Nope.
Double Dragon. Should we do front page sports?
I like that. Not even 64. He skips over Super Nintendo.
Page Sports.
Kids these
Presented
days.
by Holiday Station
64.
Stores.
Holiday Station Stores. For a limited time at Holiday, you can get 3 20-ounce Pepsi products for just $5.50. So mix and match your favorite flavors of whatever Pepsi's got to offer. 3 for $5.50 only at Holiday. Limited time. Make
Let's
it happen.
go.
Make it happen, Captain. Bob Uecker, dead at the age of 90. The voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, he was in Major League. He was on the
Miller
Tonight
Lite
Show with
commercials.
Miller Lite commercials. Of course, the Carson Show like 100 times. Johnny Carson just loved him. Uecker's one of the goats, man.
Yeah. We watched Major League last night because You know, it was time for Louis to watch it.
The best movie ever.
Oh my God! And I teared up, man. Euchre was awesome.
So awesome.
He would
he gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. And at Brewers games, man, they would play his call throughout the stadium. And
that thing you sent me last night on the gram.
Yeah.
So awesome.
The nice shut up by dude, I love Bob Euchre.
They did a tribute video, so check it out on Instagram. It's probably on X also. They, what is it, American Family Insurance Field now? I think of it as Miller Park, but they had his face on the screen. They lit it up a certain color, and it was a cool tribute to truly one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that sucks about the whole AL-NL divide between the Brewers and the Twins, because it would have been really cool to have that regularly.
Yes.
And he's right next door, but they feel so far away.
That's baseball for you, though.
Yeah.
Zach, your guy Norm Macdonald, he was on with Stern. I forget when it was.
No, I bet he wasn't.
No, he's no longer.
He was.
Oh, was.
And they were saying, do you know how like in Major League when he uses the cough button and he like talks and then he goes right back to it?
Yeah.
Like he did that in real games all the time, apparently. Like listen to Norm talk about it on Stern. It was the funniest thing.
Him and Artie Lang, have so many of those stories where he would say the most vulgar things with the cough button on.
During the play.
Yeah, check out that girl.
It's so good.
I saw a clip of Norm Macdonald on Letterman telling a story about Euchre and fried mozzarella with Mr. Belvedere. Do you know what I'm talking about, Zachary? Because it's a Norman clip. I figured that made me laugh too. All the Euchre clips are circulating in the last 24 hours. So look up Norm Macdonald on Letterman talking about that. It's really good.
His bit where he when he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, he had no speech and he just went up there and just wung it. And he's got this bit about him when he was a kid. His dad wanted to have everything, so he bought him a football, and they tried everything. They threw it, they passed it, they punted it, and then the neighbor kid came over and put air in it. It's just such a great bit, and everybody's losing.
Genius.
They're like, he didn't even have a speech. He just wung the whole thing.
Just walked up there?
Yeah.
There's a story where John Fogerty, I'm trying to remember, John Fogerty was in the booth, and Norm was there, and Bob goes, "Hey, you know who that is?" And Norm goes, "Yeah, and that's John Fogerty, Creedence Clearwater." "Yeah, I know, Bob. Hey, John, why don't you sing a few songs for
So good.
Because Major League came out when we were young, Sauce, I don't remember what age it was that I finally realized that was actually Bob Euchre's job. I thought he was just a funny actor in a baseball movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was actually his full-time gig. And as he has said a couple times in interviews, out of all the jobs that he had, his favorite job was the baseball job. Right?
Yeah.
Not the famous stuff and going on Carson and all that. It was, I like baseball, so I like doing baseball play-by-play more than anything
very
else.
Self-aware. Have you seen the Miller Lite commercial that was circulating yesterday as well, where he's like, basically, yep, I'm a big shot and I can sit wherever I want and I bet I won't have to pay for any of these Miller Lights. Less filling, tastes great, the whole bit. And he sits down and security's like, "Get out of here." And he's like, "Oh, guess they're moving me up to the front row."
I must be in the front row.
He said that's the thing that was yelled. He also talked about in this, I think I retweeted it, he talked about how the Steinbrenners came and tried to get him to go to the Yankees. And he was like, no. He's born and raised in Milwaukee.
Right. This is
what a good guy.
The best, dude.
But how about
funny?
How about when you have a phrase that takes over the culture? Like, how many times in your life, and I'm not a huge Euchre guy because I'm not a Brewers fan. I've seen Major League, 6-7 times or whatever. How many times in your just everyday life have you just gone, just a bit outside?
Yeah.
Well, it's so good.
Even if it has nothing to do with baseball, you'll still say that just because it's so funny.
I said it about 200 times watching Sam Darnold the last couple games.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Just a bit outside.
Ball 8.
So genius.
Ball 12. And he walks him on 12 straight pitches. It's so good.
Ball 8.
Yeah.
But that was
so good.
He was just an announcer. Like that's how his start was, right?
No,
I think he played. Yeah.
There's a great documentary came out
okay.
about 6 months ago. You should watch it. It's real good.
Oh, what's it on, Hog?
TV.
Oh.
He wasn't very good though, correct?
No.
I mean, good enough to get to the majors,
the majors, yeah,
but
right.
not good enough to sustain anything.
Like a Nick Punto
He
type.
won a World Series
So random.
So random.
in, I think, 67 with the Cardinals.
He what?
won a World Series with
Let's
the Cardinals.
see. American actor, professional baseball, serves Euchre signed with his hometown Milwaukee Braves in 1956, spending several years in the minors with various affiliate clubs before making his major league debut in 1962. As a backup catcher, he played with the Braves, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Atlanta Braves. He won a World Series with the Cardinals in 1964.
Wow. Awesome. Good for him.
And I think it's because he was the backup catcher that he got like some early opportunities to do broadcasting. And that's kind of how he got into that role as well.
Yep.
Zach, can you get me the soundbite of just a bit outside? Because I might use it today if any of the competitors miss an initials.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Paul! Sam Darnold. Just a bit outside.
That'd be great. Yeah,
I can
bring that
replace
in.
the buzzer for today.
Yeah, as
in
much
honor
as
of
I
Euchre.
love the just a bit outside part of that, I love the fact that he tried the corner and missed.
That's so good. He said in an interview that he was good.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah. It's like the most perfect baseball voice of all time.
Oh, it's so good. Or when he asked the one guy a question and he talks for a second, he goes, "Man, that broadcast school is really paying off."
He's pouring the booze, just getting
and then he puts it
hammered.
behind his ear. Yeah, I don't know why. It's so good.
Man.
Died in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, yesterday at the age of 90.
It's a good run.
Good run.
He lived a hell of a life.
Yeah, he gave us a lot of happiness.
Yeah.
Fox did an interview with him this summer, and he said is in the interview he was planning on. I mean, I think he just did select home games, but our guy Corey Provis was his understudy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure
Oh
was.
yeah.
Wow. Good for Core.
Great guy to learn from.
And looking back, Fox did a whole special on him, and then CBS Sunday Mornings did a whole
Which was great, Zach.
story on him, which is awesome. And I'm like, man, looking back, I'm like, oh, I wonder if obviously he was fighting that cancer privately, but it's a shame looking back now that
Other than Corey,
we have.
can you guys think of anyone like calling baseball games?
What do you mean?
Like what you
Radio? Just across the country?
I can't.
Gladden.
Like current or
Yeah, current, because like Euchre was such a big deal. I don't know. I'm
Right.
just trying to think of anyone else.
Well, Gladden did it. He does play-by-play occasionally, right? If Corey's out. Or he did before Corey, too, didn't he?
Yeah.
him and
Corey's strictly TV now.
John Gordon.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But wouldn't you say
And, yeah.
Euchre was the only guy you could think of? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
besides our guys,
John
yeah.
Sterling back in the day, right?
Harry.
But he doesn't do it anymore.
Harry Carey,
yeah,
and then, God.
On TV, yep.
Dodgers. Who the hell?
Vince Scully.
Vince
Oh,
Scully.
yeah.
Scully.
Yeah,
I
now
mean,
we're talking.
Buck
there's some
Stad.
fa-
Buck
there's some
Stad
famous
was
guys.
great.
Yeah, back when baseball
on the
was
radio.
awesome.
Baseball
Yeah.
was
Baseball, man.
Yeah.
It was
Baseball
elite.
on the radio. Man, I mean,
Right.
baseball belongs on
Correct.
the radio.
You
I
are
love
correct.
it. I love it.
Yep.
You
When
are
you're on a
correct,
fishing boat,
Oh,
cracking a couple
even when I was
Coors
a kid
Lights.
mowing the yard, I'm
Yes.
listening
Yes.
to the Reds, man.
You are correct, Doc.
I loved it.
On a
Loved it.
summer night,
so good.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Mr. Z next. Thomas Olson is here. John Creasel is here. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Hogs Daddy. Hogs
Yes, sir.
Daddy.
Yeah.
I think I've never talked more sports than I did off.
I don't know what your problem is.
No, it's great. We are dialed right now.
Mostly talked about the 06 Twins.
06 Twins, and I'm obsessed. That's what I know. I'm dialed in right now.
That team was amazing, yeah.
You and I have nothing in common anymore.
I know, it's weird. It's weird.
But we have one thing in common.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you guys, that team was stacked up. Like, I literally was looking at, like, batting averages and everything.
Pitching was key, though.
But, like,
They had two aces.
Mauer Morneau to Kadire was so stacked. Like, unbelievably stacked.
Do you know how
The
long ago
infield
that
was amazing, too, though.
Do you know how long ago that was?
Yeah, it was a long
06.
I had legs.
That's 19 years ago.
So I was...
Because I was telling them we would wake up. That team was so good. They were on national TV a lot. So we would wake up in Iraq because they would be on Armed Forces Network Sports. We'd wake up like middle of the night. Tim would move some patrols around so we could watch.
Nice.
Because he knew I was obsessed and some others were. And then, of course, like rest of Minnesota sports, they S the bed.
They did.
How old were you
But
guys?
injuries, Liriano's arm situation screwed everything up.
I mean, the outfield was Shannon Stewart, Torrey Hunter, and Michael Kadire.
So good.
That's real good.
But that infield.
Whoa.
Which another indictment of Minnesota sports. I don't think they won a playoff game.
They
didn't.
got swept
No, they got swept.
by the Oakland
A's.
A's.
Like come on.
Yeah, but I think
God, they were good, though.
They were so good, but of course, then
So good.
So, do you guys remember when Mark Rosen had advanced screening passes to see the movie The Wolfman in 2009 or 2010?
Go see it.
And he told us to go see it.
Yeah.
And then a couple of us did. And it was one of the worst movies I'd ever seen. And we realized he just wanted people to say, like, go see it because he got to see it first.
Yeah.
Well, redemption's on the line for The Wolfman because Wolfman comes out this weekend with Ruth from Ozark, Chris. Do you know Ruth is in this movie?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I think she's the lead.
Oh, wait, that's right. Yeah, I did know. I did see this. That's right. Yeah.
Mr. Z joins us every Friday to talk about films. Hi, Mr. Z.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Pretty good. Nothing much. Julia Garner is her name, by the way, and Julia's in Wolfman.
Come get you some.
Yeah, Wolfman. So this is not Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro again. One of the worst films of all time. But God, Rosie just loved it. Go see it.
Go see it.
Nope, don't. Should we go see it to Wolfman 2025?
Julia Garner does a good job. She's pretty amazing. To see her like talk in real life, the way she talks, and then like how her acting in Ozark, and then in this, she's very good. Here's the thing about this Wolfman. There's nothing new with this Wolfman. It basically follows the 1941 story. So if you're familiar at all with horror movies, there's really nothing new in this movie. If you're young and the transformation is the interesting part. Instead of just like going, straight into a werewolf, it would be more like what it would be like when Jeff Goldblum was turning into the Fly, kind of. So that part of it's kind of interesting. But as far as scariness, no, there's nothing for a person who's seen a lot of horror movies.
It's so funny you brought up The Fly because I actually have that clip lined up. You want to hear it quickly?
Sure.
All right, here's Jeff Goldblum in The Fly from the 80s.
Guys, I love poop.
So, Mr. Z, I was terrified for a second because the transformation scene is what Rosie told us to go see about the one from 15 years ago. That was unbelievable. Watching Benicio del Toro turn into the Wolfman. And, that was cool for about 10 seconds.
Yeah. And it's funny because obviously a great actor. But that happens when you get invited to an early screening. The studios know what they're doing a lot of times when they bring people to a movie 2 weeks before it comes out, and then they have them go on social media with their reactions because you know it's going to be positive because it's all exciting. It's fun for people to see it early, and maybe the director's there, and then of course it's a great time and good for them. It is a good time.
So is this
being at if you get special seats to a sporting event, it's fun. Just go enjoy it and have fun.
So is this movie part of that monster universe that they're trying to build, or is this completely separate?
I think this is separate. Okay. This is it's all every January there's a horror movie that comes out, and it used to be a big thing. We used to get some really good horror movies, and so this one was slated in. But what they need to do is get like the Blumhouse and stuff like that. So no, I'm not sure where this came from. I don't think it's related to anything else. If it does $20 million, everyone would be very happy.
Just for Tommy, and I think this was last weekend, but how did Den of Thieves 2 do?
Pretty good, actually. I mean, knowing there really should have never been a Den of Thieves 2, because the first one kind of came and went without a lot of fanfare, but it picked up a lot of steam on streaming and stuff like that. So the fact that it did business, which for Lionsgate they need any help they can get, and then anytime you have a little surprise, then they get to sell it more on streaming. So it makes the product worth more. So yeah, it did fairly well. It did more as much as you would have wanted it to.
Mr. Z, is Captain America Brave New World in trouble? It doesn't seem to have much hype.
I think I was thinking about this. I feel like Captain America Brave New World is a free roll, finally. I don't think there's, the last couple Marvel movies, everyone's been acting like oh, that Marvel's done. And maybe it is, but a $40 million opening on a comic book movie isn't necessarily bad, but it's bad for Marvel. So I think this is the first one in which it's not going to make headlines if it opens to $40 million because that's what we think it's going to do. So I think it's almost a free roll for them. And on top of that, really not, if you're going to go back and bring one character back from the old Marvel, Captain America isn't necessarily the most flashy and fun of the movies. And so I don't know. I think it's a free roll, and it comes out in mid-February. So no one is expecting it to do anything. And so if it could do $40 million, I think that would be a win.
Hey, Mr. Z, it's Tommy here. Quick
Hey, Tommy.
question. Hey, Mr. Z.
Thomas.
Thomas, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, don't worry about it. Well, speaking of like big movies, Avatar 3 is supposed to come out this year.
What is it called?
Avatar 3.
Okay.
What did I say?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I misheard. You're fine.
I didn't say anything bad.
No, I know.
Avatar 3 comes out this weekend. Or not this weekend, but this year. Have you seen it or heard anything about it?
No, I'm hoping in April that we're going to get some news on Avatar. That's the plan, to make sure it's really coming out. But yes, it should do a ton of business. It should be something we all look forward to at Christmas time, because the last one visually was still really fun and really worth going to see. So right now on the books, as far as I know, Avatar is still planned to come out this holiday season.
Cool.
Hey, real quick, Mr. Z.
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson. Did she get nominated for any awards for Last Showgirl yet? Do you know? Or did it come out too late for last year? Do you know if she up for things?
You know what? I'm not an awards guy, so I don't know. But no, I don't know. If you told me she did, I would not be surprised, because that has become the people with Jamie Lee going there to work with her and and supporting her and everything. And so I would be surprised if she isn't involved in the in the award ceremonies at the Oscars.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I have not seen
I gotta
it.
tell you,
there was a bunch of stuff that came out over the, I don't want to say smaller pictures, but holiday season gets really crazy. And so there's some movies that I'm just not going to be a good resource on. And that would be one of them.
I'm not going to, I hope I don't talk people out of seeing the film. There's nothing about the film that's going to make you feel good at all. It's a top 5 most depressing movie I've ever seen. About getting old and having nobody and no future. But Pamela Anderson and specifically Jamie Lee Curtis and Dave Bautista just blow people's doors off. I can't believe how good the acting is. I just wish the movie had a point other than you might as well just take yourself out.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, we need those. Well, not
we don't need those. I don't think we do.
We need
Mr. Z wants to thin the herd. Wow.
Get the tears out.
I got to tell you, man. But Pamela is, unbelievably good in this film. Jamie Lee Curtis, I hate to use this word because I can't think. Brave is not the right word. Whatever you would call an actress who's willing to show. In fact, it seems like embellished her flaws in this film. And Dave Bautista, you forget you're watching a wrestling guy who is in Guardians of the Galaxy. They're all so good in this film. I just wish there had been a point to it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And so a performance-based movie.
Yeah,
so, I'm looking forward. I will. I'm going to watch it at some point. I just haven't done it yet.
It's so weird, and it's like Pamela Anderson's playing Anna Nicole Smith. I like part of the time in the film I'm thinking, does she have brain damage or something? And I'm not making fun of. I'm being, because I couldn't figure out why her character was so clueless. And you were thinking at the end of the film they might give her a diagnosis of something, but there's no resolution as to what is going on in the film. But the acting is so damn good. I encourage you all to watch them do it. You're so proud of Pamela Anderson. That's a dumb thing to say as a 54-year-old man who's never met this woman. I was so proud of her at the end of the film. I'm like, look what you did. Look, you just proved yourself to the world that you can act. All right, I'm done.
Did she pull? I was curious. Do you think she pulled some of her own life experiences into that?
Yeah, I would say probably so.
I'm assuming she did. I wasn't sure. I imagine. You kind of hear what happened in the movie industry and the music industry back in the 80s. I can't imagine both Jamie Lee and her didn't go through some stuff.
Wait till you see Jamie Lee Curtis and what she's done to herself for this film. I can't tell you. Imagine having all your flaws and then putting them on the screen and then creating some others. But I tell you guys, they're so good. You've met all three of those characters. You've met them in real life. That's how good the acting is. You know these people. It's the craziest thing, man.
Yeah, Gia Coppola directed it, apparently.
Is she a granddaughter?
Granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola.
Golly gee, is Pamela good in this film? I'm so proud of her. It's the weirdest thing to say, but it's true. All right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Z. Appreciate it, man.
Guys, talk to you later.
See you.
Bye.
Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola is her grandfather. Nick Cage, first cousin once removed.
Is Sophia her mom?
Sophia is her aunt.
Okay, got it.
Roman Coppola, her uncle. Jason Schwartzman, first cousin once removed. This is a very famous family.
Schwartzman, how do you say it?
Schwartzman.
That's Rocky's wife's real son, if that makes sense. The woman in Rocky.
Adrian, yeah.
That's his mom.
His mama, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Paul, your hands up.
Woodhawk.
Jason Schwartzman?
His mom.
Now or in 1977?
It don't matter.
Oh, yeah. Adrian, when she loses her hat in Rocky 1, all time.
Super cute.
How long has Mr. Z been coming on, if you had to guess?
12 years? Something like that, maybe?
I'd say more than that,
Yeah,
even.
probably longer than that, yeah.
Do you realize every time he comes on, hey guys, what's up? And then talk to you later.
I
Bye.
think
he says the same thing every
his
time.
catchphrase. He's trying to trademark it.
It's brilliant.
I think superstar, right? Or was
Yeah,
it,
I mean, it's. I mean,
I've been on 17 plus years.
It might
and
be
I think
close to
he
that.
Mr. Z, text me. How many years you been on this stupid show?
Yeah.
And the Sludgeathon days.
Yeah, that's true. He used to come in overnight.
I met the infamous Mr. Z when I came over.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a great dude.
Really good dude. What really matters after this? Power Trip Morning Show on the Van.
Michael Shines, everybody. Louder than voices. Hi, welcome back. It's the Power Trip Morning Show. So yesterday was the end of season pressers for KOC and Quasi. And lots of audio that I loaded in for you guys because I thought you might care. But KOC was asked if there's any tension over his contract situation.
What I would say is I love being the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, and with that becomes the fact that I love our ownership. I have a great relationship with our ownership, and feel so fortunate. Like I said, not only just the way they support us and believe in us, but also the impact they have on our players, on our locker room, and ultimately where we all want to go together. Feel very, very great about that. And yeah.
But Coach, do you want to stay here?
I do, and I've had great dialogue with our ownership, and this week in reflection as the season came to an end, and anything beyond that, I would prefer to kind of keep those discussions internal.
Got it.
Do you think they're a package deal for sure?
No.
I don't think they should be. The draft thing. Good morning, Chloe, by the way.
Hi, baby.
You can't, and I know it's not all on Quasi. There is a scouting department. He's not the only one scouting, but it is so detrimental to the development of a team and a potential contender to swing and miss on every draft pick. And now heading into a season where we have, 3 draft picks?
1, 5, and 5.
As of now, there will be compensatories, but you can't. It's unsustainable to build only through free agency. We can't. Doesn't matter how much money we have now. We need to develop from within, and it's just that part of it is why I don't know if he's owned it. It's a much easier to sign free agents because you've seen their body of work at the NFL level than it is to draft, and he's drafted not poorly but awful. Here's the thing, and I'm just stealing Corey's take from the other day. If J.J. McCarthy is a home run, none of it matters.
It does, though.
Yeah,
well, I don't like when you speak for me. That's kind of what I said.
It changes a lot, though.
For sure. I mean,
basically
what I was trying to say.
Jared Fogel's a great person.
Right.
Yeah, you also did say that.
Basically, what I was saying the other day is that if you hit a home run on a quarterback, it makes up for a lot of other misses. It doesn't give you a free pass to suck.
Correct.
But
you're correct.
But if JJ is a 7-time Pro Bowler, then you landed the franchise quarterback and you look like a semi-genius. But to your point, John, it's not sustainable, though, if that's the only one you hit on.
Right.
It's like Belichick in New England. Sure, you had Tom Brady. He just couldn't draft anybody. But he had Brady for almost 20 years, so he won like 7 Super Bowls.
But he then worked offensive and defensive line. He knew with defense he was fine. I'm also going to speak for Corey and say I support ISIS. No.
Brilliant.
That's not exactly what I said.
It was close.
And with the one draft pick he's hit on, Jordan Addison, which we've heard that was a KOC pick. The McCarthy thing very well could have been that. He's the quarterback whisperer. He's the one that really understands the position. That seemed to be a guy he wanted if they couldn't trade up for Drake May. So with that is just, you have to accidentally, Paul, with as much as you watch the NFL draft and you pay attention, and I respect your opinion, you would have drafted better than him, I feel like.
Well,
and I'm only being slightly facetious.
I'll tell you why I would have. I would have taken Kyle Hamilton.
For sure. You said that in the lead up. The Dallas Turner one?
Yeah, you love
this Dallas Turner swing and miss is devastating.
But did it look like a swing and miss when they drafted him?
Let's not
No.
It didn't. That's the thing. If you draft somebody and it's like everybody would have drafted him in that spot.
But Chris, but a lot of teams passed on him, and I know there was the run on quarterbacks and offensive players, but with the body of work Kwesi has had, if that was his first year, you'd say, okay, listen, I think a lot of people wanted him, but he has drafted poorly. Like there's nobody, his swing and misses have been monumental. So this is on top of that, which makes it inexcusable. You look at Spielman. Spielman caught hell, but he drafted pretty darn well. He drafted some players that are potential Hall of Famers.
I mean, Spielman, though, here's the thing about Spielman, though. Spielman also got the luckiest break in the history of the NFL draft when the Eagles took a different wide receiver in front of them and then JJ landed in their lap,
For sure.
right?
Yes.
Percy Harvin was...
I'm throwing that out,
Percy
though.
Harvin fell to them. I mean, you look at it either way. The Lewis Cine thing is really bad, but
But if someone falls to you and you take them and it works out, that you still drafted that person.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kyle Hamilton thing is...
I forgot about Percy. God, we were talking about
great.
That's what I was saying, the 09 season.
Percy was a dog.
He was.
Yes, he was.
God, he was good. He was so good. Do you remember him? He touched the ball. He scored.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
He was a dog in the locker room too.
Sorry. Can't get passionate about sports. Okay, sorry. He was so fun to watch, though.
Weren't you in the locker room when that all went down?
Yeah.
Yep.
But like Jalen Naylor, he's not bad. He's playing. He's good. Dallas Turner, he's playing a little bit. He's
also,
developing.
Jalen Naylor I might have better hands. And
no, come on, he's not that bad.
But also he contributed this year. I will give that. Yeah. What was he, a 6th round pick or 5th round pick?
Yeah, so that's a pretty good pickup in the late rounds. You could argue for that too.
But when everybody ahead of him and the first rounder that you sacrificed a lot of future picks for played the least amount of snaps of any defensive first round pick, that's not tough. That's bad.
I'm telling you, but Dallas Turner's his dog. He'll be fine. He'll figure it out.
He had some time already to figure it out.
Oh, come on. It was his first season. You know, what if he just has to learn a new playbook? They just let it ride down in the SEC. Lets his freak athletes go off, and then just year 2. Scene was tough. That was a tough one.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's out of the league.
Right. But like, think about it. We loved him at Georgia. He was a dog. He ran that whole team.
He did lead their defense.
He was. He was the guy.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't take him? Freak. I think we're fine. We're going to be fine.
Well, I'm not
we win the Super Bowl. We win the Super Bowl. This doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm not saying in 2027 we're going to have the first pick overall. Yeah. But I'm saying with the team, when you win 14 games, you want to be on the up.
That's true.
You got to build on this season. And it sounds great to have all that money. There's a lot of holes to fill. A lot of holes to fill.
Yeah.
Now it sounds like my dad talking.
I thought Tommy was optimistic. Thomas is an eternal optimist.
It's insane.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
Yeah,
I'm an optimistic person about everything in life except Minnesota sports, specifically the Vikings.
Yeah, it's tough not to be. Wild news presented by Catalyst and CatalystSupplyCo.com. If you are a Twin Cities contractor, boost your build. Be a Catalyst company. Thanks, Catalyst. The Wild are at Nashville, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Yes. The Wild are coming off a 5-3 loss to the Edmonton Oilers. Zachary, what do we got for injuries here? I mean, I know the list is getting long.
It's
but
over.
Anybody coming back anytime soon?
Lauko is, so that's good. But Marcus Johansson was placed on injured reserve after being elbowed in the face by Coward McDavid.
That was I saw that Zacho. That was really bad.
Yeah, it's
on purpose.
disgusting.
Tenneby disagrees. Tenneby yesterday said that it was not super egregious.
So if you keep it, what?
Oh,
Who said
Scott
that?
fell.
Tenneby.
Tenneby doesn't have eyes apparently. Then.
Whoa.
Okay, I'll be
Stop
fair
falling.
to Tenneby. The angle they showed on TNT was not as bad as the angle they showed in arena, which was from the scoreboard perspective.
Okay.
And it looked way worse on that angle. But even the TNT angle was bad too. So
Okay.
What are you going to do?
He's right.
Yeah,
But you
so
can't
if
send
you keep
people
it
out
scored
to
home,
fight,
that's-
though, obviously, because then their goons are going to fight and it just gets downhill, right?
There was a close game and whatever. They couldn't, everybody's like, why didn't they go after him? Well, it was a close game. It was a close game. And also, we don't have anybody else that we want to get injured because a face to the fist is whatever. I don't know. I'm just very
really upset.
Yeah, you said it, Pat.
How about a blunt?
That'd be great.
Make it two.
That's so good.
So yeah, two players the Wild have had injured now and are missing games, and there was no penalty or any other penalties issued after the game. So this is great. This is great
That's
stuff.
a
You're doing
lie.
great, NHL. Kirill Kaprizov now on long-term IR. I've read this Russo Athletic piece about 3 different times. It's the most complicated piece of player movement. Bottom line is it's going to be another tough one tomorrow, but this team is resilient as all hell.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter in the long stretch of things. This universe is all chaotic and there's no order and everything sucks.
Geez, you're sounding like
Sayonara, suckers.
Zach, how's the pretzel situation at the X still? Pretty good?
Haven't had one. They don't. I mean,
I think that's very, very weird.
They don't have them in the concession area, or when they do it in the concession area, I just don't go to the concession area because I work there. So,
Oh,
Corey, you been back lately?
when was the last time I was at the X? Like maybe a year ago.
Come on now.
I know. I should go this year.
Yeah, it's fun. I like Wild Games. Wild Games are great.
we should all go to a wild game together.
They put on a great show.
Zach, don't mock me.
I'm not mocking you. I'm mocking the people that can't be bothered to have fun
on ice.
Yeah.
Yes, on ice, Pat.
Yes, Pat.
Let's do what really matters. I'll do scores and stats around the world of sports, and in between, Chris will change your life with something else.
You're a little high. Wow.
The Gophers walked it off last night in dramatic fashion. In overtime against number 20 Michigan, Dawson Garcia nails a three-pointer near midcourt at the buzzer to win 84-81. That gives the Gophers their first Big Ten win of the year. They were 0-6 before that. And Michigan was the opposite. They were 5-0, so that's their first Big Ten loss.
And it was a big one.
Yep, buzzer beater for Dawson Garcia in OT, 84-81.
That was fun. I watched it live. It's cool to watch things live every once in a while and yell.
yeah. Like something good happens.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
It's fun when good things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good things.
And then you see it at the Sports Center is the number one play later, and you're like,
it sure was.
That was a classic. It was
number
old school.
one.
It's number one, baby.
But what really matters is this.
Experts have come up with a new way to define obesity. Now, there's great opportunities for jokes here.
A lot of them.
But I didn't do it.
The Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology Commission wrote in a new paper that body mass index, or BMI, isn't the most accurate way to measure health at an individual level. Instead, the commission suggests to approach obesity similar to the way chronic illnesses are looked at. The group focused instead on adiposity, the amount of fat stored in the body and how it impacts organs and tissue.
Get that fat out, Tommy.
Did I ever tell you about in 8th grade what we had to do in health class?
Oh, golly, ma.
No, but let's hear it.
It's Paul, you've probably been in a situation.
Is it
So we had to calculate, for homework, for a research project, you had to calculate your BMI.
Oh.
And then you go present how you did it in front of the class. The teacher felt so bad that she didn't make me present. Very nice.
That's a good teacher.
Isn't it? She understood because it was off the charts.
But in a lot of ways, that's also highlighting the fact that you're so heavy that you shouldn't even present.
Yeah, I know.
So the other kids are like, how come Tommy's not presenting? Because he's a huge bitch.
I mean, it was like Burger
40.
King Uber eated to the classroom.
Seriously. It was 40 or 50,
When they-
0.5% BMI, just fat.
Drew blood and it was maple syrup.
So bad.
Always food around.
So bad.
I think we have audio from the teacher, right?
You're heavy.
Oh.
1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
That
was your
was
teacher's
back-
name, Tommy?
Miss Biak.
Well,
she's an actress.
that sounds very close to
Women.
biatch.
She was great, though.
Well, for sure.
about
Health
it. She
teachers
helped me.
were the greatest.
Oh, they were the best.
And thinking back, there's a story I can only say off air. Holy smoke, some of the stuff they said.
Boom.
My favorite, they put there was a box you could put questions in.
Oh, sure.
Women.
Because she's
Jesus.
like, you might be too embarrassed to ask. And I just filled that thing up with the most
Oh, the
ridiculous questions ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to learn then. It was great.
And it was things I already knew.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, just ridiculous.
Very, very big.
Mrs. R.
Never
Yep.
asked me. Never asked any of my questions either.
No, mine all got asked.
Wait, she asked?
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow.
She would, yeah. And they were, the one I'll tell you off air was ridiculous. But nowadays she'd be fired.
Real
Because
greasy.
people are laying down.
For repeating that in
Yes.
front of a class?
And her answer.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Really?
Yeah. Pat's pumped.
Good.
She had a very specific and graphic and detailed answer.
She was a horny lady.
Is that right?
Did
All your hands up.
Woodhawk?
Oh, for sure. A lot of people would.
Yeah.
She was decent. And obviously she knew her way around the bedroom for sure.
Squishy.
Yeah, you think health teachers are just freaks?
This one was for sure.
They just love
Which is
talking
good.
about
It's a subject. It would be like young Tommy teaching kids how to eat.
Yeah, that's true.
How
You
to
know a
gain
lot
weight.
about
He's
it.
pudgy.
Right. Yeah.
Was that what
How
your
to put
question
weight
was
on.
about?
Wow.
This show is derailed.
What happened?
Let's do the news when we come back. Marnie in 20 minutes. Elizabeth Reese and Ben Lieber later in the, I think late in the 7 o'clock hour, maybe early 8 because they're going to play initials at 8:15. Reese, one more with you, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, one more segment with Johnny K. Same with you, Tommy? Got to go in about 20 or what?
Yep,
All right.
yep.
More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.